Today on Adventures of Lahana, we're in the BVI for the week-long Odyssey Sailing Festival. Some of the most exciting events during the annual flotillas are the sailboat races. This year, we have 7 boats competing, captained and crewed by sailing veterans and YouTube personalities. Racing today, we have Spirit Animal on a Lagoon 50, Captain Glenn and Chase from Below Deck Sailing Yacht entering a fancy but heavy Volley 5.4, Sailing Red Seas with the well-equipped Lagoon 46, We Sail sporting a Volley 4.8, Lauren Landers, a Lagoon 51, Laura Dekkar, FB Tana 47, and of course Kiana Weltzen bringing a Volley 4.8. The day before the race, everyone was planning and practicing to get their boats ready.
Fenders are all in.
Okay, no, this is Odyssey. Instead, we were all just swimming, jumping off the boats, and hanging out at the bubbly pool. We also did one of several promotional jumps off the bows of the boat so Raph could get drone shots. The morning of the race, things got a bit more serious as we left the ferry dock at Foxy's Taboo near Diamond Key.
Oh, yeah, we're all good. Perfect.
Anticipation mounted as we headed to the starting point and prepared for the race.
With the finish line. Race is on. Fenders are all in.
But we were a bit embarrassed as Lauren was yelling to tell us we left the swim ladder down.
Alright, I'll get it.
We'll start near Sandy Spit in Manchonil Bay, make one counterclockwise loop around Sandy Cay, avoiding the shallow water and reefs. Then we have a long downwind sail along the south side of Jost Van Dyke, heading to Great Harbor. The first boat to tie off to their assigned mooring ball in Great Harbor, with all sails down, wins. This was a standing start, as opposed to a more traditional running start, with all boats holding into the wind in the starting area with the main sails up, waiting for the go signal. When Andy called out on the radio to start the race, everyone quickly unfurled their genoas and fell off the wind to our nearly beam reach toward Sandy Cay for the first leg.
That's the main going now, but
Every place you go, make it into our landmark. Ain't it real or is it just me? Do I need a chill, but you're bringing the heat? Yeah, miracle motto, love lucky lotto, that never let go, hell no.
For the first leg, we were to head just to the west of Sandy Cay, turn slightly upwind as we round the island, and continue on until we felt we had enough headway to clear the bommies on the east side, then tack back.
nice job, team. That's Laura Dekkar behind us.
I was crew on the Red Seas boat. We were in first place off the start, but we were quickly overtaken by Laura Dekkar, with the other boats trailing close behind and catching up fast. It was seemingly playing out in slow motion as the charter catamarans lumbered along in close quarters. This was getting exciting as all the boats jockeyed for position and adjusted sails for the best speed. That is, some of the crew were working on the sails, the rest were filming each other and lounging about. This is a very casual race, as every Odyssey race tends to be.
Not helping us, right? Sometimes you use their wind.
Sorry, that was incredibly cheesy.
Spirit Animal on their larger Lagoon 50 were right on our stern, slightly upwind from us, but as we approached Sandy Cay, we kept as close as possible to the shallow water, preventing them from winding us in passing.
These moments are about to get a real heart attack.
There were some sailboats anchored near the beach on Sandy Cay as we rounded the closest approach to the island, which I'm sure was a nail-biting moment for them as they saw 7 large catamarans heading straight for them.
She's going off. Dang it!
They quickly recovered and reached for their phones as we all filmed each other during the passing.
I'll have a large coat. I'll have a large coat.
Just as we passed the anchored sailboats, Spirit Animal cut to starboard behind our stern and attempted to pass us on our leeward side. Since we were now as close to wind as possible on these charter catamarans, we slowed a bit, which allowed Spirit Animal on their more beam reach to gain on us.
You hold 60 and come out here?
At this point, we also fell off the wind a bit in order to keep pace with him.
60.
Next strike is also upwind.
Upwind, yeah.
All right, if I swing it behind, I'll try and get some clean air, and then the reason I jump from the
But
inside.
before we could gain any speed from this move,
I lose a little bit in the process.
some other boats, including Captain Glenn on a Bali 5.4, with black carbon fiber sails no less, who kept the original track, began to gain ground on our windward side. Now clear of Sandy Cay and the anchored sailboat, we had to gain enough ground to be able to clear the windward side of the island to complete the loop in a single tack. With the pack now starting to pass us, we decided to go ahead and tack early, heading right across the other boats in an attempt to get ahead of them. This was risky, as it was possible we would have to tack again if we couldn't clear Sandy Cay given the wind direction. If we had to tack a second time, we would undoubtedly be in last place by far. This gamble paid off, however, as we had a clear lead heading for the north side of Sandy Cay. The other boats, having held off tacking, were now catching up, but they had farther to go, Laura Dekkar having gone the farthest.
We took the shortcut. So catch up.
For this leg, we needed to sail as close as possible into the wind in order to just clear the coral bommies on the windward side of Sandy Cay. Then head downwind for the long, slow sail to Great Harbor. It was a tense moment as we rounded the bommies near Sandy Cay. We just barely cleared them without needing to tack again. We were in the lead yet again, but not for long. Soon after rounding the island, we began a long, slow downwind leg in the wind shadow of Jost Van Dyke.
First the waves, I'll stop now.
This became more relaxing, as there wasn't much to do other than the occasional sail adjustment. Unfortunately, in this configuration, our shorter boat, with its shorter waterline length and thus slower hull speed, would hurt us. Spirit Animal quickly passed us and proceeded to leave us behind. To our amazement, however, just as we thought it was all over, Spirit Animal turned and headed for Gardner Bay, far short of our intended destination. They apparently mistook it for Great Harbor and started to take down their main and head in. Unfortunately for us, they realized their mistake, got back underway, and began slowly gaining on us again. They also had another advantage. By cutting close to shore, they had a shorter distance to go to the finish line.
7-5.
We had stayed out farther, believing it was best not to get close in and risk losing our wind. But this left us with farther to go when we needed to tack and head back into the harbor. The other boats, seeing this, also began to tack directly into the bay, cutting into our lead.
Nothing's gonna get in our way. We will be the biggest band in town.
Once we were nearly into the mooring field, seeing that Spirit Animal had stopped to drop their main, we decided to drop ours while underway. This saved us some time, but not quite enough.
We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top.
Unfortunately, safety and the need to handle lines and grab the mooring ball meant we didn't get any footage of the dash through the mooring field, dodging boats, grabbing the ball. Though I know there are videos out there as people all around the mooring field grabbed their phones to film these idiots tearing through the quiet, screaming commands and sailing under power around them. But Spirit Animal pulled it out and won by only seconds. The other boats quickly followed. Next was Laura Dekkar third, followed by Captain Glenn fourth, Laura Sanders towing her dinghy the whole time, Tiana, and then we sail. After an exciting but exhausting race, we sat down for an excellent lunch by our chef Slim's. We all headed over to the neighboring White Bay, home of the famous Soggy bar, for some drinks, sailing stories, and beach time. It was another amazing day with the Odyssey Sailing Festival. The next day, we planned to head over to Norman Island for a raft up and party at the infamous Willy-T floating bar and jump spot. Stay tuned. If you're new here, subscribe, like this video, and stay tuned for more sailing adventures.
Way out there.
Press down on one leg. Lady pose.
One more.
You can do French pose. French leg.